From Malcolm completely humiliating himself to impress a girl to the entire family, exploiting Hal's grief, these are the most awkward moments in Malcolm in the Middle. Starting with Malcolm's stupid girl phase. This moment is awkward in the most painful way, because it's completely self-inflicted. Malcolm, who's usually defined by his intelligence, suddenly finds himself attracted to someone who's the exact opposite. Instead of accepting the mismatch, he decides to meet her on her level by becoming just as dumb, and it's brutal to watch. He starts dumbing himself down, acting out of character, and slowly turning into someone he clearly isn't. The worst part is that he knows what he's doing and still keeps going. What makes this moment so awkward is how real it feels. It's not chaos, it's insecurity. It may not be the biggest scene in the show, but in terms of pure secondhand embarrassment, it absolutely earns its spot. And if you thought that was painful, the next moment shows that sometimes the most awkward moments aren't loud, they're quiet. Number 9, Dewey gets ignored. Dewey doesn't need to say anything for this moment to land. That's what makes it so uncomfortable. Throughout the series, there are multiple moments where Dewey is completely overlooked by his family. Conversations happen around him. Decisions get made without him. Sometimes they don't even realize he's there, and he just watches. What makes this so awkward is the silence. There's no explosion, no argument, no chaos. Just the slow realization that Dewey is invisible in his own house. It's played for comedy, but there's something deeper underneath it that makes it hit differently. It's the kind of awkward that lingers. And compared to what comes next, this almost feels subtle. Number 8, the family portrait disaster. This is awkward in the most classic sitcom way. Lois just wants one normal family photo. But the second they step into position, everything starts falling apart. The boys won't cooperate, they mess with each other, and the tension builds instantly. Lois tries to force control, counting down, demanding perfection, and making things worse with every second. What makes this moment so awkward is how forced everything feels. No one wants to be there, no one is comfortable, and yet everyone is pretending this is going to work. It's that mix of pressure and inevitability that makes it so hard to watch, and so funny at the same time.
That is it! Get up! Get back! Come here! Go there!
And if that kind of awkwardness felt familiar, the next moment takes things in a completely different direction, where even the adults make things worse. Number 7, Malcolm's hospital experience. This one hits differently. Malcolm is genuinely in pain and thinks he might need surgery. But instead of support, he's met with dismissive doctors, frustration from his parents, and a general sense that no one is really taking him seriously. What makes this moment so awkward is the tone. It's not chaotic, it's uncomfortable. You're watching someone try to advocate for themselves and getting shut down at every turn. It's one of those moments where the humor comes from how unfair everything feels. And if you thought that was uncomfortable, the next entry shows what happens when awkwardness crosses the line into something much worse. Number 6, Reese crosses the line with Cynthia. This moment starts as typical Reese behavior and then becomes something much harder to watch. He tries to win Cynthia over by acting nice, which already feels fake. But then he takes it further, planning things out, manipulating the situation, and eventually crossing a boundary he absolutely shouldn't.
I've been working on this for days. Tomorrow I'll reveal an embarrassing secret that makes her feel trusted. Friday I'll sneak a kiss and then apologize. 3 days later, I actually ask her out. She catches me crying. Makeout session. She discovers a love letter in my back pocket. Heavier makeout session. All culminating in March 8th. Double D-Day. You're pure evil!
What makes this so awkward is the shift. It goes from cringe to genuinely uncomfortable almost instantly. Even within the show, it's treated as wrong. He gets called out. He faces consequences. But that doesn't make it any easier to watch. It's one of those scenes where the discomfort is the point. If one of your most uncomfortable moments hasn't shown up yet, don't worry. Because from here on out, these are the ones that really push things to another level. And if you enjoy revisiting these classic sitcom moments, make sure you're subscribed to Malcolm Rewind for more. Number 5, Francis pretends to be gay. This is one of those moments where the awkwardness comes from watching a bad idea spiral in real time. Francis realizes that the beauty pageant contestants assume he's gay. And instead of correcting them, he leans into it. Hard. At first, it's subtle. He plays along, gets closer, gains their trust. But then it becomes obvious what he's actually doing. And the entire situation starts to feel uncomfortable fast. What makes this moment so awkward is how long it goes on. Everyone around him is sincere, and he's not. And when the truth starts coming out, the payoff is less funny and more, yeah, that was always going to end badly. But compared to what comes next, this is still just social awkwardness. The next moment gets much more personal.
Number 4. Malcolm's public speech meltdown. This is a different kind of awkward because it happens in front of everyone. Malcolm is used to being the smartest person in the room, and usually that gives him confidence. But when he's put on the spot to speak publicly, everything starts to fall apart. What should be a simple moment turns into overthinking, pressure, and self-doubt all colliding at once. He starts spiraling mid-speech, second-guessing himself, overanalyzing every word, and becoming painfully aware of how he's being perceived.
How come Malcolm hasn't said anything for 5 minutes?
And the more he tries to correct it, the worse it gets. What makes this moment so uncomfortable is how real it feels. It's not chaos like the rest of the show. It's internal. You can see exactly what's happening in his head, and it completely sabotages him in real time. It's one of the few moments where Malcolm's intelligence doesn't help him at all. It actually makes things worse. And that's what makes it so hard to watch.
And if that felt bad, the next entry proves awkwardness can go from cringe to genuinely unsettling. Number 3, Hal manipulates Lois's weight. This is where the show dips into a kind of awkwardness that feels wrong even while it's being played for laughs. Hal realizes he prefers Lois at a heavier weight, and instead of talking to her about it, he secretly starts altering her food, adding sugar, injecting butter, doing everything behind her back. What makes this moment so uncomfortable is the contrast. On the surface, it's played like a ridiculous sitcom subplot, but underneath, it's manipulative and kind of disturbing. It's one of those moments where the humor doesn't fully cancel out the discomfort. And if that felt dark, the next moment takes awkwardness into territory that's even harder to sit through. Number 2, Malcolm at Burning Man. This is easily one of the most uncomfortable storylines in the entire series. Malcolm finds himself in a situation that's meant to be chaotic and free-spirited, but instead comes off as deeply awkward and confusing. The relationship dynamic, the emotional reactions, and the way everything unfolds just doesn't sit right. What makes this moment so awkward is how unclear it feels. It's not just cringe, it's discomfort that lingers after the scene ends. You're not laughing, you're questioning what you just watched, and yet, somehow, this still isn't number 1. Because the top spot isn't just awkward. It's the kind of moment that makes you feel bad for laughing. Number 1, the family exploits Hal's grief. This is awkward in a completely different way. Hal is clearly struggling after losing his father.
My father died.
He doesn't know how to process it, so he starts overcompensating, showering his kids with attention, gifts, and praise. And instead of helping him, they take advantage of it. What makes this moment unforgettable is how layered it is. On one level, it's funny. The kids pushing things too far, Hal trying to hold it together. It fits the show. But underneath that, it's uncomfortable. You're watching someone at their lowest point, and everyone around them making it worse. That mix of comedy and guilt is what makes this the most awkward moment in the series. It doesn't just make you laugh, it makes you feel weird for laughing. Those were some of the most awkward Malcolm in the Middle moments. The kind that made you laugh, cringe, and sometimes question what you just watched. But now we want to hear from you. Which moment made you the most uncomfortable? And which one do you think should have been number 1? And if you want more countdowns breaking down the funniest, darkest, and most unforgettable sitcom moments, make sure you're subscribed to Malcolm Rewind. And if you are done watching awkward moments, why don't you give the most unforgettable moments a watch next? Click the end screen now to continue.